Tiseo's here with us this morning. Now, you've written 5 books. Have you started another one? I mean, you already through it or what?
Actually, I've written 6.
Okay.
I'm finishing up my 7th, and I wrote a children's book.
We've been talking about Lumosity.
Yes.
And for those of you who don't know, you can, lumosity.com. It's keeping your brain working.
Yes.
Do you feel that you have to do that?
Absolutely. You don't want it to atrophy, so you have to keep yourself stimulated. So how are you going to keep yourself stimulated?
Well, you're writing stuff about your own experiences.
Well, a lot of fiction is memoir, so
Yeah.
you start with a prompt.
Okay.
And then from there, you build on it. There are a lot of authors that will have a whole plan. They'll do a whole plan from start to finish. I always like to write to the ending. I have an ending in mind, and I write to that ending.
Okay. In reading the book Sunset Park, I wondered, that was one of my questions, I wondered if you wrote basically thinking backwards and how to get to that point.
Yes, I did, but the prompt was something that I experienced a while back. Not like that, what happened in the book, but it was that type of a prompt.
Well, it's kidnapping, it's murder, it's intrigue, it's mystery, it's the mob as a young kid.
And it's black, let's say noir.
Yeah.
And it's based on fact. A lot of those characters.
Now, where'd you grow up in New York? Because I want to get that out because some of our listeners will know that area.
I grew up in Astoria, Queens. When we came from Italy, we landed in Astoria, Queens. We had relatives there. So.
And how many people in the apartment building that you lived in? Were they all related?
Well, it was my aunt, my mother's sister. So ironically, she was a citizen, my mother's sister. My mother wasn't. So, but her and her husband owned that apartment building. It was 6 families, and we moved there. They had an apartment for us.
And how many in your family at the time?
There were 5 of us.
Okay.
Yes.
That's amazing. We had a comedian, and I forget his name now. He told one of the funniest stories I've ever heard, where his mother was Italian, and they grew up in Italy, and his dad had died, and her sister set him up marrying a black gentleman, African American.
Mm-hmm.
And he says it was the first time I'd ever seen a black person, let alone being my new dad.
Yeah.
And so he says his mom used to make, marinara grits. It was great. But with growing up, coming from Italy, how much English did you speak?
Well, I didn't speak any English. I was about 6 years old when I got here, but I assimilated. They put us right in school. I can remember a few times I ran out of the school because I always wanted to be with my sister. My older sister's 2 years older than me, so we used to go to school, and they would try to separate us in the classrooms. But I'd always run to her classroom. And so they would physically take me back to the other classroom. And one day, I just ran away. And my uncle, he got a hold of me and convinced me not to run away anymore.
And the book is called Sunset Park. Where can it be? Where can people get it down here?
Well, you can't. You've got to go to Amazon or Barnes and Nobles.
Okay.
You can get a Kindle edition, or you can get the paperback version.
Okay. It's an easy read. It assimilates as you read through it. It flows. It's a very nice flowing book, and it's got a lot of parts in it that are like. And I wanted to ask you, how much of it is fiction and how much of it is fantasy?
Well,
nonfiction.
Well, there's a lot of it is a lot of what happens there. Some of the characters is based on fact. One of the characters, Ray. I call him Double Ray.
Yeah.
He's the bad guy. I modeled him after a real mobster. The other characters are just from my imagination and people that I've seen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I want to because when you read it, and I've known you, and it's like, okay, which one's Albert? Which one is real? And your assimilation of your personality is assimilation of the 2 characters, the 2 kids.
Yes.
Together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good murder mystery. It's a good kidnapping story. It's something that people will read and say, okay, what's next?
On this book, the first chapter I handed in to the Writer's Digest. It's a magazine for writers in the country. And the first chapter, I won an award for that first chapter at about 1,000, 1,200 entries for mainstream. I came in 55th. I won an award on it for short story for that chapter. The book itself, I had a lot of fun writing it. That is not, I don't like to identify myself with, the mobster thing, because you're Italian, it's a mobster thing. So my other books, they veer away a little bit from this.
What about the children's book? Have you got grandchildren? Wanted the grandchildren to have a book to read by their grandfather, or how'd that go?
Well, this children's book has been in my mind for the past 10 years, and it's basically, I modeled it after my daughter. And it starts off about having responsibility, and it gets into bullying, and it ends up with responsibility. And I never knew it was going to go in that direction. I was just telling Tom that it's what happens is, I think it was Janice son, that when you start writing, the characters almost tell you where they want to go. And when I first started writing,
if you let them, Albert.
Well, they will.
Yeah.
They will. It's a phenomena. You think that, oh, that's bull.
Yeah.
You're the guy writing it. You know what they're going to do. No, they come out and they want to tell you something, and you want to follow it. You just got to keep asking, what do they want?
You're now on what, on book number 6?
I'm on book number 7. Yeah.
Who was your mentor? Who really got you going into writing books?
Well, from reading, I read a lot. And
Yeah.
my favorite author is Cormac McCarthy.
Oh, okay.
All the Pretty Horses, the Crossing,
Yeah.
The Road.
I've got a book by him. It was given to me as a gift about a year ago, and I haven't gotten into it yet.
Oh, he's a great writer, phenomenal writer.
All right, I'll have to try it.
And I was fortunate enough to have a friend of mine, Kathy Baker from Sunny Breeze Golf Course.
Oh, okay.
She referred me
We don't know her at all.
She referred me to a woman, an editor that she was taking a class with. And I contacted her, she's an editor.
Yeah.
And this woman, Deborah Morris in Riverview, she's a great editor. And she handled me the right way. There were so many times on my first novel that I started writing that I was acting like a prima donna. I thought everything I wrote was that was it, didn't need any edits. And she handled me the right way, because I was just complaining. And she said to me, well, it's up to you. It's either you want to write or you don't want to write. You want to learn or you don't want to learn. And she didn't coddle me. So that really helped.
Okay, all right.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Albert. If you've got a question, you can give us a call, 206-1580, or toll free, 888-441-1580. Catherine Baker.